the fucking theme music. It plays before. I don't know why I said that. It's fading out.
Yeah.
What's up, dude and dudettes? I don't know. I'm just 2 for 2 with the great intros these
dude
weeks.
and dudettes and the notification.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm just real professional here. Our dirty table that we had clean 10 minutes before we started shooting.
The fucking light fell on me. Holy shit.
I thought I killed Dylan.
I thought I died. Like, I was so scared. Like, I'm just on my phone, like, just say, telling, like, my girlfriend and stuff, like, oh, I'm starting the podcast. And literally just
boom. Yeah.
Straight down on.
I did that once at work. I broke a light. Felt really bad about it. It didn't come out of my paycheck, very thankfully. It wasn't really my fault, technically speaking. I didn't drop it.
Yeah.
It was more so that the person I was working with dropped it, and I was supposed to have the knowledge to tell him not to do what he did.
Yeah.
But filmmaking's a very,
yeah.
Sometimes you got to get in some nooks and some crannies.
You learn. That goes into the budget.
Exactly.
Broken camera.
It didn't break the light. You see how the lights have the metal barn doors?
Yeah.
One of them was bent. So 3 were flat, and then one of them was like a little U. It wasn't broken. I actually used that light all the fucking time when I was working at that job. Yeah. Funny enough. How you been, buddy?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Back for another week here at the Joystick Show. Remember to hit like and subscribe for your boyos. Coming at you with the podcast every single week and coming up with some brand new fresh uploads, cooking them up as we speak. Dylan.
Yeah.
Every week I ask you the same question.
The same question.
I'm like, yo, Dylan, what have you been up to? And then you say nothing.
Of course.
And then we laugh about it every single time.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that? Come on, you got to give me fucking something, man.
Well, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I've just been, homework.
Oh, you're back in school.
Yeah, fucking schoolwork, man.
That's not
horrible
fun.
stuff.
I did something fun today. That's not fun.
What was the fun thing you did?
No, I want to know about your homework, Dylan.
Oh, my homework.
Our viewers are dying to know what class you did your homework for.
So I had to do this one assignment where I had to write a page about these like Japanese artists that used like their bodies in the artwork.
Like as a canvas or as a subject?
Like they would paint in some unusual way with their body.
Got it.
Or just
okay.
So like one guy would like light like dynamite, and then the paint would explode everywhere, and then that would be the painting.
Interesting.
And there was one guy who would set up like 4 canvases and just run through them. Like you just see it'd just be like a canvas with all punch in it.
What class is this?
Like a history class.
Sounds sick.
It was literally week 2 of my history class. It's basically just like a world history, but it's a cultural studies class. So it's just like they try blending both. Like every week it's like you learn about a historical thing, and then it's like, okay, but then read this article about like some random shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
To this day, one of my favorite classes ever in high school was Global History 1.
Yeah.
Was it the same for you where we had to learn all the world religions? Like
yeah, and I relearned them twice more.
Yeah.
Because after that it was religion class, and then on top of that I took a religion class that was world religions. So.
Oh yeah. That was really cool to learn about like everything I didn't know about back then because they cover everything. That was pretty sick. My favorite was Shintoism. I think that's pretty dope. It's like that's the one where like everything in nature has a soul, like the rocks and the trees and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I just really like the ancient ones where it was just like the sun. That's it.
That's our
Easy.
God. No, what was I gonna say? I was also gonna bring up, I don't know, super sidetracked, but anytime I hear anything about like history class in college, it reminds me of the one time I went to my Puerto Rican Latin studies class in college. First of all, I was in college for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
But I walked into that class and I figured, Puerto Rican Latino studies. I just so happened to be Puerto Rican and Latino.
Oh yes.
Something I figure I could study. Walked in, sat down, and then the teacher was like, yeah, we're going to be doing like 2 essays a week. And I was like,
what?
Peace. I'm out, and never went back to that class.
I would not do that.
Never went back. That was like the second semester that I was there where I was like already, like I already paid the tuition to go to the film school. So my advisor was just pretty much just like, go to the classes you want to go to and enjoy it. And I was like, cool. But that was definitely one of the ones I was like, not going to this anymore.
Oh, fuck yeah. I've definitely had those. Like even on some of my online classes where they were like, oh, attendance isn't mandatory. It's like, I know what this means.
Yep.
Not going. Like I don't need that. I can teach myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want to hear what I did today?
Hell yeah.
Speaking of art.
Oh yeah.
I went to a pretty cool art house. Yeah, like an art house. I think that's what they're called, art spaces. You know, and they have like the little exhibits on.
Yeah.
It was called the Art Tech House. Okay. Art Tech House. It's supposed to be like art technology house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They specialize in like that digital kind of like generated art where they like run sequences into computers and then it comes out with crazy stuff.
Like it's almost AI at that point.
Yeah, it's like really interesting,
like machine learning painting,
like some Iron Man shit. But yeah, they had like this whole exhibit where they converted like an 100-foot boiler room in the Chelsea market into like this. It's just like a big white room that's dark, and then they have like these high tech projectors that are just like projecting these sequences all over the walls, all over the floors. So you just literally you pick a seat. They're not even seats. You just sit on the floor and you're just like surrounded by like light and color and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, like are you? I mean, I saw like 2 videos you put up, and they were both really sick.
Whatchamacallit, they it was specifically for blue because I think the color of the year was Pantone blue. I think that's what it was called. And it was the 2020 color of the year because of its like calming effect or whatever. That was part of the reason. You remember there was like that thing like put the blue for the nurses and shit like that for the medical field.
So that was just like that makes sense.
So the whole point of the exhibit was that all of those sequences were in that color scheme. So it was just all blue everywhere. Okay. So it was like crazy. It felt like I was watching Finding Nemo on IMAX. So dope. Yeah, it was awesome. Mind blowing. Just really cool.
Yeah. So is it just that's it? It was just projectors? There was nothing else to it?
They had like some other stuff.
Okay.
Like the one thing that was kind of like annoying about it was when you go, they show you like a video, like a mandatory instructional video, not instructional, like introduction video where they tell you like who they are, the space, blah blah blah, and they kind of made it sound like they were like, when you walk around in this wall, you will see exhibits from da 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 da. They made it seem like it was a lot more.
Okay.
Not to say that what I saw wasn't cool, because it was, but they made it seem like it was gonna be a lot, when in actuality it was just like that big room, a balcony overlooking the room, and then a side room. That was it.
Okay, it wasn't like 12 different rooms.
Yeah, it wasn't like a museum. It was just kind of like one, like that was its main exhibit. I think it was called like Celestial, because at points it's like you're in space and it's just like stars and
that's pretty
planets
cool.
And shit like that. It's pretty dope.
Nice.
Yeah, like one of the side rooms has like these big monitors that are like 5 feet tall that stand vertically, and you stand in front of them, and I think they have like cameras that like watch whoever's in front of the screen, so that when you move your hand or your body, you'll see like the particle simulation on the screen actually move to the
that's pretty cool.
Shape, and it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works at all. I would love to figure it out, but it's super mind blowing. I thought it was sick. Yeah. So I spent a nice little afternoon in the city.
Yeah, I definitely need to hit up some museums, some art.
Hell yeah. When are we going to the Hall of Science?
Let's go.
Can you go to the Hall of Science as an adult? Like without a kid?
Yeah, yeah, you could.
Is that a vibe?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not? Because I want to do it. Holy shit, man.
Oh, I remember. As long as they still have the thing where it's like about like velocity and you throw, it's like a speed machine where you throw the ball.
Oh, I think I remember that.
If they still have that, I'll test anyone out on
Dude.
that. I got a cannon.
The Hall of Science is sick, man.
Remember
the bubble thing.
Oh yeah, I remember all. Yeah,
they had the sports.
You know
section.
how often I went to the Hall of Science?
Like every year.
Everyone knows what the Hall of Science is, right?
Everyone who lives in New York City probably knows. If we have to be specific, I doubt we do, because we don't have as many viewers. But hey, maybe this will be history someday. People come back to watch episode 26 of the podcast. Yeah. No, the Hall of Science is a pretty dope ass science museum right here in Flushing, Queens.
A lot of school trips.
Pretty much every science-based school trip is at the Hall of Science. If you're from Queens, Brooklyn, it's like where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go to the Lincoln Science Center in Jersey?
No, I
never went there either, and I always hear really cool things. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should actually go there instead. You know, wear mustaches so we feel better about ourselves.
All right, yeah, okay.
Among all these school trips going on,
shit,
that's how.
Shit. We got to go on like a week.
That's how lava lamps work.
We got to go on a week. It'll be busy.
Yeah.
But like, we got to go on a weekend.
I love the Hall of Science.
I
definitely want to do more museums. I want to do the Museum of the Moving Image.
Oh,
that's a great museum.
I wonder what new stuff they have though.
Sorry to cut you off, but to think that the last time I went to that museum was years before I got into filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that museum now. Are you kidding me?
Oh, for sure. It's a really cool place, but I feel like I've gone too much now, and it's like I hope there's like new stuff, right? There's like new exhibits and stuff like that, because You know, I've been through all of that.
Yeah. I only went once.
The cartoons at the beginning were always sick. Do you remember the guys' cartoons?
Oh, I don't.
Oh.
I went once, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go relive those memories.
Oh, yeah.
I remember they had Castle Crashers in the video game area. That was pretty wild. They had like Tron and stuff.
Yeah. And they had all the arcade machines too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a super cool museum. One of my old film teachers used to, I guess, head a film festival that they kind of house there like every year.
Nice, because I know that's like where like it's near where like the the Marx Brothers had their like whole studio set up.
Yeah, that Kaufman Studios is like right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a whole last thing, Dylan.
I know. Love that thing.
What's your favorite museum?
Cooper Hewitt.
Sounds
in the
familiar.
city. It's like design and stuff like that. So like the first floor is a lot of like clothing and styles and textiles and all that stuff. And then when you get to the second floor, it's like, oh, what's the design of a car? You know, stuff like that. And then top floor is like a lot of like urban planning stuff.
That sounds super up your alley.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's like
there's a lot of furniture too.
It was funny.
You sit on furniture and shit like that.
It was funny because it just got more Dylan as you kept talking.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, you know, there's like textiles and there's like fashion stuff. And then there's urban planning. And as soon as you said that, like that couldn't be more fucking Dylan at all.
And it's like super interesting too. And then they have like different models and stuff like that. I remember there was a website where you could build a bus route.
Oh, that's all you, buddy.
And I was like, and like, you know, I was getting hungry, you know, like I was on there for like 20 minutes. Like, I'm all right, I'm done. I'm enjoying this. I already made the effective bus route.
Cut to you playing Mini Metro on like the train.
Yeah, just like, oh, I figured it out.
It's one of my favorite things about you. I don't know why. Just like, because it's like we've obviously spoken a bunch about how you're like super into geography and stuff like that, but it goes past that. Like you're really into maps. And like all
I could do
kinds
all
of
that.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean they kind of go together almost.
Never forget when I sent you that video of that map store in Seattle, and I could feel you creaming from over there.
All right, I don't know about that.
I felt it, Dill.
But I like maps for sure.
You love maps.
Yeah. You're like, you're gonna fucking love it. I'm like, yeah, they're cool. No, you're in love with Matt. It's like, okay.
I'm thinking of fucking that Chronicles we put out in Astoria Park, where for like a second you're like, did you guys ever think you were autistic?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, did you? And you're like, you know, I don't know, just really like maps. And then like hard cuts.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's such a great video. Holy shit.
That's
that and like the kickflip are like my favorite.
No, what's the license? Bebamu.
It's like I shot of that. I did. It shot a Bebamu.
Bebamu, yeah, that's like one of the best jokes in that video. Bebamu.
Oh my god. We've recovered some old Chronicles, have we not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about that.
We've recorded some. We've recovered some data.
Bobby had a very, very productive week. I was super happy about it, which is pretty cool. So, to catch you guys up, I went on the skiing trip, brach. It was pretty cool.
The skiing trip.
I got hurt on my first run and couldn't go anymore. I'm better now though. Long story short,
I've seen a lot of you. Honestly, that weekend I saw a bunch of people go skiing or snowboarding.
Me too.
And I saw a bunch of people get hurt.
Yeah.
I saw someone's broken leg. I saw someone had like a sprain.
That's
like
what
you got her on the
Yeah. I want to fucking talk about this for a second before we move on to the productive week. I've never been skiing or snowboarding.
All right.
Ever.
Okay.
So I had like I had no idea what to expect at all. You know, I didn't know anything. So like, you know, when they say the bunny trails or whatever, I thought, or the bunny slope, I thought that was just going to be like a little hill that you could like go down.
Yeah.
Maybe they had that, but what we ended up doing was just taking the ski lift up and then you just go down the mountain essentially. And then as you're up there, there's routes that are like the normal slow route and then like all the other ones. But you still bust your ass constantly on the slow route.
Yeah.
And the thing is I don't know how to do this, Dylan.
Uh-huh.
So
of
like,
course, yeah, it's hard.
So like I'm keeping my balance. I'm shredding down, but I'm going fucking fast and I don't know how to slow down. So every time
turn, you gotta.
I don't
it's heavy.
know, man.
It's the you did snowboarding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. That's harder.
Hard as shit.
Because they're heavier.
And then you just see like these little 13-year-old fucking kids from Aspen just making you feel like a bitch. It's like 360ing over your head while you're collapsed on the ground. But no fucking
do skis next time. It's easy.
Yeah, I want to do that next time. But yeah, you know, I had fun. I had a really good time. I think that was the more annoying thing about it was the fact that I got hurt because I wanted to keep going. I wanted to go more runs and try to get a hold of it. But like I said, every time I went too fast, the only way I could stop was to wipe out. So I got really good at falling. I got really, really good. And you know, my tailbone was a mess, whatever, but I was good. But I was going down like a section where you like take a turn.
Yeah.
And I've never done this shit before. How am I supposed to turn?
Yeah. I'm just imagining myself. The only experience I have of any of this, because I've never gone skiing or snowboarding. You know the game, SSX Tricky. Not only that though, but steep, any like snowboarding game, any snowmobile game. I feel like I would be good at it. Even though I know that I would go.
I made a joke on the trip. I was like, dude, I played a lot of SSX Tricky as a kid. I'm gonna be fucking Uber scoring this shit up, man.
And you just
no, I ran into a safety net. That's what I did. I couldn't slow down.
I mean, better than a tree.
But the crazy thing about that was, so they have like a safety net, but it's like a rope net.
Yeah, I know.
But in front of the rope net is like another safety net, and that net's like plasticky. Almost, it's like what trash bags are made out of, but way tougher. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I got tangled in that, and then I got tangled in the rope net. And the craziest fucking thing about it was where I got stuck. Maybe like, I don't want to gas it too much, but like 5 or 6 feet next to me, there was no rope for that section, and it was just like a mini gorge. Like I wouldn't have died or anything, but I would have gotten fucking hurt. Like there's rocks and trees. Like there was no cushion there or anything. You just kind of fall off the edge. But I was lucky where I got caught. But what happened was I went into the net and kind of twisted myself, and the front of my board like ended up in the snow, and I'm like clipped into the snowboard like with my boots, but I'm like in like face down in the snow. You literally got
stuck.
I'm stuck. I couldn't move.
You could have starved to death.
And like I'm going like that, like contorting my body, trying to flick the fucking clip on my boot, and I can't.
Yeah.
But the way I hurt my ankle was because I was so deep in the snow that anytime I was like trying to adjust myself, I'm putting mad tension on my
course,
ankle.
yeah. Everything is.
So eventually I was just like, I can't. I'm not gonna be stuck here. So I just push, and I snapped it. But after that, my ankle was like donezo. And if that wasn't worse enough, I was going down the mountain like with my board in hand, and I was like, all right, I'll get back up and I'll go slower. And like right as I get to the bottom, I hear watch out, and a dude wipes me out like literally a second after he says it. It's not even a like, hey dude, look out, like literally as he's hitting me. And he like caught me.
Sorry, I'm hitting you.
He like caught me in the calf of the ankle that I hurt, and I literally flipped over. And at that point I was like, you guys have a fun other 2 runs down the mountain. I'm gonna go sit in that chair and I'm gonna enjoy my rest of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Besides that,
yeah, I mean, it wasn't cool. You just wiped out.
Just got wrecked by the. Oh yeah, the funny thing was there was a.
Go tubing. Do that. That's safe.
Oh yeah, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is there was a guy who was I can't even make this up. It was comical. Every time I fell, I heard this guy like fall, bam, and I'd look at him and he'd look at me, and then I'd get back up and I'd go and I'd fall again. And then he'd get up and he'd go, and then I'd go, and then I'd fall, and guess who's right there where I fell? That guy, like I'm for like 10 minutes, and then finally, like it happens enough that you just have to say something, and you're like, first time, and he's like, yeah, these kids are making us look like fucking dicks. And I was like, yeah, man. And then he's like, it's a white people sport, and I was like, I feel you, buddy. But the best part about it was like after I had that accident and like fell in the net, that was when I was like, all right, let me unclip, just hold the board on my arm and go down. And I guess he saw me do that because he unclipped his board and he's like, fuck it, I'm walking down too. And I was like, good. And we were just both out after that. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Just couldn't get it.
Bonding.
Oops, sorry. And we were both with our girlfriends who have done this before. So like Betta's just fucking Sean Whiting it down the mountain.
Yeah,
and I'm just
she did
like,
snowboarding too?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's only done snowboarding. She's gone like skiing, snowboarding like 3 or 4 times, and I think she's only gone snowboarding.
Interesting. All right, yeah. So that's forward to level 4. Yeah.
She's good. She's no pro at all. She like the last run she went, she said she wiped out a lot. I wasn't there because I was resting my fucked up ankle.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I hurt a lot too? My shoulders.
Of course.
Because they're all like fucked up from the seizures too.
Yeah.
But every time you fall, it's like that. You try to like spread it out. Oh man, there were some falls that I literally felt my shoulder go like in and out.
Yikes.
And I would just lay there on the snow like, just like let it chill.
Yeah, you gotta enough of the physical activities, man.
Yeah,
you're really not built for it.
And ever since that, ever since the skiing trip, now when I've noticed it weirdly only when I'm pushing myself off of floors. Because it happened at the ski trip, it happened like here at the house. It even happened today at the art museum. Like I said earlier, you sit on the floor. If I try to, and I always forget, but if I try to push myself up with this arm, it does the same thing. And I'm like, fuck. I have to like chill there for a second. I have the scripts for the X-rays. I'm gonna go very soon. I promise, Dylan.
Yeah, that's not great.
Gotta go get myself checked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my skiing adventure. Lost my gunners, unfortunately. I'm very sad about that. I wore them on that episode of the Joystick Show, my yellow tint glasses, and now they're gone.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm like, no yellow tint glasses.
Probably in a fucking Airbnb in Union City, New Jersey, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, okay. So now what happened?
Did you just chill at the Airbnb at the ski trip or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, the way it worked out was it was like a weekend trip.
Yeah.
So we got in Friday night, and then we went skiing Saturday morning. So we got back like 6 o'clock Saturday night, and then we just kind of chilled, ate dinner, watched movies and shit like that, played games. And then before you knew it, Sunday morning, check out, we were out. So it wasn't really like I was like nursing my shit much. I was thankfully the trip was short enough that I still very much enjoyed all of it.
Oh yeah,
very grateful for
you know.
Just that was the one sucky thing, because that's like what you go for. It's like you go to Universal Studios and then like, I don't know, Spider-Man slaps you in the face.
Kicks you in the balls.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why'd I come over here for this?
Yeah. Your gunners fall off on the Hulk.
Yeah. Also, this is probably going to be the most professional thing we've ever done in Joystick to this day. What? But I'm going to take a mental note that I'm doing this 20 minutes in because we didn't clap before. So, guys, here's a little behind the scenes. If you didn't know this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then now I can take that clap, that really shitty clap that didn't even make any noise.
That was a really bad clap.
I know. And I can sync that up to the audio with the cameras for those of you who didn't know, so that everything syncs up well. I didn't have that clap last week, so I had to eyeball it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it work? I think it worked.
I worked.
Yeah.
It's weird because it obviously worked, but as an editor, I watch it and there's like a lot of moments where like you say something really fast and your lips don't match to it, and I'm just like mad at myself. I'm like, fuck, if I had to clap, be perfect. But it's still like nothing. It's like a half a second delay. It's not even noticeable really, especially with the webcams. They're so blurry. Yeah. So should I talk about my productive ass week after the ski trip?
I mean, you were going to talk about some recovery data.
Mm-hmm. So funny enough, I kind of had this dawning moment, this idea. The old joystick computer was a 2013 iMac that I bought in 2013 at a Best Buy. And that was the original computer that we made like all the old school joystick stuff. For those of you who don't know, some quick joystick history for you. The joystick anniversary is actually March 3rd. Because we uploaded our first video here on March 3rd, 2014. Despite the fact that we have been a consistent channel for about 7 months now. We've been active. We've been on this bitch for about 7 years now, on and off. We joke about it a lot, but we get like these moments where we're like, for a month or two, we're like, this is our time. And we put out some fire content, and then we're like, we'll get back to it in another 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, and if things didn't line up, it was just like, it didn't line up.
Exactly.
But we're all adults.
Yeah.
That,
We find time, though, now, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
But, we had that old iMac, and it kind of started going to shit. Funny enough, as soon as I started dating my girlfriend, because when I was talking about it with her, she was like, I actually remember when it started, like, fucking up. And I was like, okay, because that's how I, like, put it in my thing. I was like, okay, so that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Also
for sure. I remember when it was fucking up.
Long story short, it was like a hard drive issue because I'm not going to lie. I didn't know much about computers up until...
When you built
3 years ago when I built my new computer.
Exactly.
So people are gonna make fun of me or whatever. I had like a 1 terabyte hard drive that had like 980 plus gigs stocked up. You're supposed to leave like 100 gigs.
You're supposed to leave a lot.
Yeah, I know. But I obviously didn't do it. And then I think at the same time we were putting out a lot of content, so I just had a lot of videos that were taking up space and shit like that. So long story short, like 3 years ago, that computer just stopped working. Like you would turn it on, try to boot it up, the white screen would come on, and it literally took anywhere from 3 to 12 hours.
I remember it taking whole Hangouts and it wouldn't load.
At one point, I can't really track it because I had to leave it overnight. But like Dylan said, I think we had like a 5-hour Hangout.
Maybe longer.
Didn't turn on. I had to go to sleep, and when I woke up the next morning, it was on. So who knows how fucking long it took.
Imagine if it shut off.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, I cried. So my plan was I was going to like take out the hard drive, like open up the Mac, take out the hard drive, and then buy like one of those SATA to USB cables to take out all the stuff. But then I was like, is it possible to put a new drive in? Can you put a solid state drive in?
Yeah, fast
and you can.
One?
Yeah. So I bought like a new Samsung, I think it was like the 870 SSD, 500 gigs.
Yeah.
Pretty fast. It was like not even expensive either, like $60.
Yeah, those are pretty cheap.
All the tutorials I saw were like, this will take 25 minutes. Shit took 4 hours. It was stressful as fuck. I was sweating bullets. I don't know how Mac, let alone computers work, so I'm there like really delicately trying not to break everything. But long story short,
that's the most stressful thing. When I built my computer, I was just like, I was so afraid I was gonna manhandle every fucking piece, and you almost did when you fucking built yours. But like, just trying to get in.
Jose came in the clutch, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, long story short, new 500 SSD hard drive, SSD solid state drive in the iMac, and it fucking loads up in 5 seconds. It's a brand new-ish computer. And to talk about the data recovery, I've found so much old joystick stuff, dude. Stuff we didn't put out, stuff we did. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, because like there was like a whole period of time where like before the Chronicles were even a thing, we were videotaping our hangouts already.
Yeah.
Like we were just going out, especially with me and my camera. Like I was filming this stuff, and then I would take it back and I would edit them and put jokes in and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like 2 halves of Chronicles that we never even like did anything with.
We should put that out.
You know what I have? Even though we technically lost you saying it, the thing that Jose loves, where you're like, smackaroos down by the park or some shit like that.
God, yeah. There's some. I remember there was a weird one where it was just like 50 seconds of a hangout. Like there was one video that was super short.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious. We hung out in Long Island City one night.
Okay.
Brought my camera very randomly. We had absolutely no expectations to make a video. It was just like I was bringing my camera. We're just gonna film some antics, and just by random luck, everything funny happened that night.
Yeah.
Like we ran into a pack of like 18 thugged out Asians, and we were like, whoa, and they were like blasted music and shit. And we're like, whoa.
Wait, was that the night where the people were fucking outside?
Yeah.
And I was like, Joey grabbed the camera, and I was like, don't film
that. There's like a couple fucking in the not even in the brush. There's like a walkway.
No, it was basically like the end of the walkway where you don't have to walk.
Yeah.
And it was like in a corner.
For those in LIC that we hung out in this old, like spot overlooking the city and overlooking the river. But there's like a bunch of walkways, and there's one lower walkway that goes to a small square where they have like benches, but it's not to go anywhere. It's just like to go there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, like there's a spot over it, like a big bright balcony where you look like over the river and shit like that. So we're up there and we look down, and I think it was you. You were like, are they fucking?
Those people are fucking.
And you look down and they're like straight up just having sex, like right there. And I remember there was a jogger who like ran down that walkway, and we were watching him, and he noticed and he just went right back around.
I was about to say, I was like, I saw him. He was getting like a little too close too. I was like, did he not see them? It was so
comical. He was like,
right back,
right back. Yeah, there was that. There's fucking Jerry's Everything Champion.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which I don't even remember.
And then the Smackaroos thing, which I don't even remember the context. I think we were just saying smack a bunch. And then Dylan out of nowhere is just like, Smackaroos down by the park.
Yeah.
And fucking Jose lost it. It's like one of Jose's favorite things I
remember
said.
that night. Yeah, we were like doing the curve. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that one, and then there's the one. You weren't there for the other one, but me, Jerry, and Jose did one in Bay Ridge. I think I showed you the thing where he says the whole spiel about the condominiums. You want to buy a condominium or condominium? Yeah. I put the words on the
I'm happy because I heard condominiums every time we go to Bay Ridge, somehow it comes up at least once. And I was like, that's where that's from.
Dude, that's honestly the video I've been trying to find the hardest in the computer, and I can't find it. Because I never edited them as the Chronicles, so I have no idea what I called them. And the thing is my file management was not good in high school. That shit is like, I'd have a folder called stupid shit with like everything in it. You know what I mean? God. Like that. Like I think you can attest. My file management now is, it's great. You go upstairs and look at the fucking shit I have for the joystick show. It is assorted quite nicely.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But back in the day, it was
100%.
Trash. It was terrible. It was like just make one folder and put everything in it.
Even now to this day, I'm pretty bad at it. But
I had to get better at it because I was terrible at it. Fucked up my computer.
Save too much shit. So there's like other shit from your life on there too.
Oh yeah,
like,
man.
Everything's on there.
Pretty much everything post 2013 to 2017, 18 is on there.
That's a lot of.
That's a lot
of
some history.
To recover. I lost like all my stuff because I just put it in my new computer, and I was just like, I'm gonna reinstall Windows, and it's like, oh, you have to delete everything, and it's like, okay, that's fine.
You're just like, okay, rip the Band-Aid.
And the only thing I had was like a school school stuff, and I was like, yeah, that can.
I have a lot of that on that computer.
Yeah, I don't need any
school stuff.
I don't need any of that shit.
Because we got that computer in senior year, so I only had it for the last year of high school. But boy, did I use it. There's some high school class videos Dylan and I made we're not so proud of that we have to go back and delete pretty soon. if we ever get famous.
Wait, what like
some stuff. I don't even want to say them, dude. Just like some religion one we made for Miss Grennan, I think it was.
Oh man, yeah. There's some stuff that is.
Oh man, yeah. There's some stuff that's just.
I'm happy that
just awful.
A lot of time we were using other people's computers for that because I've done tons of videos in high school, and then I was just like.
But that's also the scary thing is we don't have control over those videos.
I mean, those people, you know who you are.
Yeah.
They're not gonna upload anything.
Better fucking not. I was gonna say something, but then it'd make it real obvious who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Do you know about the first ever YouTube video I ever did?
It's not this thing. What was it? The porcupine, Charlie. What was it? There's a puppet that knocks on your door.
No.
Zayad the platypus.
No, that wasn't it.
How the fuck did I go from fucking that to Zayad? Whatever.
Yeah,
yes.
That was not it. No.
Okay.
But that is a classic.
Super classic.
Definitely participated in that. No, it was a video that me and my friends did. It was like 6th grade, maybe even earlier. And he had basically on his second floor of his house, he had like a balcony that was like overlooking the first floor. And his little brother tied a monkey around its neck and hung it from the balcony. And there was like, we did like a 1-minute video where it was just my friend in his like light voice, just yelling crazy monkey.
I remember this now.
And it's a great video. I think it's like private now. I wish it was out there because there was like 5 years where it was up and it got, a couple of 100 views because it was named. There's like another video. I think it's from like Robot Chicken maybe, or it's like a claymation of a monkey and it has like a lot of views. That's also Crazy Monkey Part 2. And our video was also called Crazy Monkey Part 2. And I went, but we never made a Part 1. And so I'm like,
damn,
wait,
you guys jumped the gun.
Yeah,
you're like, this shit is gonna take off. It's gonna be a universe.
I think there was like an audio issue, so we couldn't even use the first one, or like it was like mad blur, like it was like choppy
in there.
And we thought it was up, and it was like, oh, we never uploaded it. Yeah.
You know, it was the first video I ever uploaded to YouTube.
What was it?
Shadow. The greatest short film of all time.
Oh my god, what a video!
Can't wait to talk about this shit because we're gonna talk about this shit.
Oh, I love Shadow.
Yeah, so we had a teacher in senior year for a film class, intro to film. Shout out to Mr. McKenna.
Oh yeah, watched a lot of good movies.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool teacher, and he had a project like that was one of those typical 50% of your grade, blah blah blah, like big projects. Yeah. Those two, and he was like, you could either write however many page paper, which didn't sound appealing, or you could direct a short film. And for somebody like me who was very much into that, I was like, that option, please.
Yes.
So I picked that option, but he was like, but in order for you to pick that option, I need to see something that you filmed before to see that you have like the skill.
And we did not have.
I had nothing serious. Yeah. Everything was just like stupid sketch videos no one will ever see.
I mean,
just like all that stuff.
There's some old videos where I'm like, you could have showed him some of that junk.
Yeah, right. Some of that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Me and Dylan both wanted to make movies, so we kind of like looked at each other and we were like, we have to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll do something. Yeah.
So we got Joey, we got Jerry. We were like 17, and we were like, we're gonna make a short film. In a day, practically.
Jerry wasn't there.
Jerry was there. He fucking held the camera sometimes.
I do not remember Jerry being there.
I gave him producer credits.
Oh shit!
But long story, Jerry. Yeah, fucking long story short. In a day, Dylan and I like wrote a 3-minute short film, filmed it with Joey.
Yeah,
we edited it.
We wrote that pretty well though.
It was like, okay.
It was fat. Like for basically an improvised script. It was good.
Yeah. Number one,
enough.
It was basically Fight Club. It was like, for the whole shtick. I'm sorry to spoil my award-winning short film Shadow, but it's like, long story short, me and Joey play like roommates, and I'm like an asshole roommate to Joey, and they were roommates. I play like a dickhead roommate to Joey, and Joey's kind of like the one doing work, and he gets fired and blah blah blah. And then at the end of the movie, some heavy shit. Spoiler alert. Joey like takes pills and he like overdoses and dies, like his medication or whatever. And then when I find him, I disappear because, spoiler alert, I was a figment of his imagination. It's Fight Club. See what I mean? It wasn't very original.
I can't even. We used an Arctic
Monkey song.
And that's my favorite because anytime I can't listen to that
right?
song.
I feel the exact same way.
Anytime
I hear it, dude, I think of like Joey's twitching hand, right?
I think of Joey getting dressed.
Yeah, but the story gets better, right?
Yeah.
So we filmed that in a day, got it in, and our teacher saw it, and he was like, "This is great." But he was like, if you two are gonna make a movie, you have to make two separate movies. You can't co-direct. I have to see two separate projects. So we were like, all right, because that's how we submitted it. It was like directed by both of us. So we were like, cool, no worries. I'm sorry, I'm about to throw your ass under the bus, but I'm about to throw your ass under the bus, Dylan.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know how it ends.
So here we go.
Yeah, definitely.
I had an idea for a movie that I filmed with Jose, a short film. These were back when like my short movie ideas were like 2-minute short things, blah, blah, blah. Had this idea for a movie where like Jose plays this character who's like stuck in repeat. He does like the same cycle of blah, blah, blah every day, gets up, same shots, shot. But then one day he forgets something that he usually takes in all the sequences, and it like breaks that cycle of events. And then as he's like late for work, he bumps into a girl. And he like meets the girl, and then his life starts getting like interesting, and his sequence like that was the whole idea. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I filmed that, edited it, cool. Dylan Diaz waited till literally the last possible second to film the short film. You had like this whole convoluted idea.
Yeah, it was that idea was so crazy.
Yeah,
I wish.
And I'm not trying to be a dick, but you literally waited for like maybe 1 or 2 days before it was due to do this, and we were like, holy shit, how are we
we couldn't do it. There was
like audio issues. There was just a bunch of shit going on. So eventually what ended up happening was I gave you Shadow.
Yeah, I took credit for this movie.
And somehow we gave that movie back to Mr. McKenna, and he just graded it. He was like, yeah, great job.
Yeah, he didn't
like, he didn't fucking care at all.
I mean, and even that he didn't remember.
I got like an 87 on my movie. Dylan got a fucking 95 on fucking my movie I gave him. I was so tight, Dylan. I was like,
however, I did hold a lot of the camera.
Shut the fuck up.
So
I was so tight.
So I do want to say that although I am a director, I do want to say that if the edit of the movie now says director Dylan Diaz, because it's me now.
You stole my fucking credit.
I kind of hijacked the movie, but I did hold the camera.
What's the math on that? Fucking dude, we got 182% out of 200% for those two movies. So nice. It's a team effort. All right, we did that together.
Do you remember the script you originally wrote that he rejected? Because we had, because I had another script even that was even more convoluted than the second
dude.
one.
Hell yeah, I wrote it in a night, bro. I was like, this sounds cool.
I wrote it in 4 hours.
I was like, this sounds cool. If I have a budget of $100,000,
I remember guns being,
bro. There's like police chase, like there's like lights. I was like, I can't afford this shit, but I sent it anyway. And then he literally just like marked it up, and he was just like, this is unfeasible. I like this. Put it in something different. And I was like, okay, fair enough. It's like cool. But I literally wrote that. That was last minute for me for sure. I was like, I'll shit something out.
Yeah,
can't do that.
I remember we also took literature into film, which was the other class
where we read the books and
I remember you being out because you were like sick.
Yeah, I missed a lot.
And I was just like, damn. I was like, damn, I want to see my friend.
That's why we took all those film classes together.
Yeah, I was like, gee, I'm gonna sit next to Bobby.
That was actually so hype because Dylan and I never had class. For some reason, how it worked out is Dylan and I had classes our first year together,
and then second, third
year, no classes. It wasn't until senior year that we like. Granted, we still took different classes, but every now and then we were like, yo, are you taking that? All right, I'm going to try to take that and get in your class.
Yeah, I took it.
And I'll never forget how lit it was.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
And I remember because I dropped a class.
Yeah.
I dropped pre-calc, and then I was like, why did I take a math? That's stupid. And then I had to take an extra class the next year, the next semester. Yeah. And then that's when I ended up with the other film one.
And I saw you. I was like, yo, it's so lit. So we got to take both film classes. I just hate you weren't there for Christianity in the film. That was such a vibe.
I definitely didn't want to take that. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'll never fucking forget. I'll never forget.
I didn't want to. And even then I took, I don't even remember. I took 2 religions taught by the same teacher, which I won't name.
I took a lot of religion classes.
But I actually liked that year, but cool. I did not take that film. I did not.
So what was funny about that film class is I took that. I don't mean to use the term because it sounds so movie cliche or whatever, but I felt like a lot of the popular kids from our high school were in that class.
Yeah.
I wasn't by no means popular. Like whatever you'll say that word means. I feel like in our time in high school that really just meant like the kids who were social. You know what I mean? I can honestly say I don't think there was like bullying or anything like that, tierism in our school. It was more so just like there were kids who hung out outside of school, and there were kids who didn't. And we kind of felt.
I went into school knowing like one person.
Exactly.
And even then, it was like we weren't friends.
So like I had that religion class with like all those kids that hung out of school and all that shit, but it was so fucking funny because like I've never had classes with them, but I'll never forget. I won't name his name, but we went to school with this kid who was a mega stoner.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, he sat right in front of me in class. I came in. I was mad quiet at school, too. I put my bag down. This kid's probably said, like, I've had, like, maybe 2 conversations with him the whole 4 years in school. And I'm looking at the teacher, and I feel his head turn around at me. And he's like, yo, Bob. And I look, and I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, you and Dylan make movies, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yo, you should, like, make a movie and then put me in it. And I was like, I've never spoken to you ever, bro. Like, but I was like, cool, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the equivalent now is people asking if they could be on the podcast jokingly.
Yeah, right.
That's the equality
it's
right
like,
now.
Yo.
It's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna be on it.
And we're not even trying to be dicks. Like, we're in the process of putting this show into a process where we could have guests on. It's just not feasible yet. But soon, that's like the plan.
There's gonna be people.
There's been tons of people who want to like come, and that's kind of why we made it. We want to talk to different people. I'm fucking tired of hearing this guy. It's been like 10 years. Mm-hmm. The season finale is just going to be us ending our friendship. The series finale.
Series?
Yeah, it's going to be tearful.
Oh, God.
Like the end of iCarly.
What's the last episode? I don't know if that is definitely not the correct comparable. There's a lot.
A lot of better shows.
Yeah, I was thinking like Lost, we get off the island.
Nah, iCarly. iCarly. End of the web show. See, it makes
whatever.
It makes sense to what we're doing here. This is technically a web show, right?
So iCarly's coming back, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited.
I don't like.
I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off real quick. I like iCarly.
I know, of course.
Done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
flicking it over
for that. But I was just wondering because I didn't like Fuller House, right?
Oh, I never watched those shows.
Yeah,
but yeah. Well, no, I know what you're talking about.
You didn't watch Full House?
No.
Did you watch Fresh Prince?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you watch The Nanny? Because I didn't watch The Nanny.
Was that the one with Fran Drescher? No, I never watched that.
George Lopez?
I mean, Fran Drescher. As soon as I see that, I turn off the TV. I don't need that in my life.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, George Lopez.
Okay, so you watched
But actually, I didn't watch George Lopez because I used to get bullied in school. They used to call me George Lopez. And I was like, fuck you guys. And I hated George Lopez. No offense to George Lopez. It's like, I have absolutely no beef with you. It's just kids are mean and racist.
What a good fucking nickname. I mean, it's bullying.
You know what's the fucked up thing about that nickname, though? I can't escape it, bro. To this day, it'll come out like as a joke. Like somebody will be like, yo, George Lopez. I'll be like, how? Did you go to school with me or some shit? I don't look like him. Like,
bro, I'm gonna whip that out on your 30th birthday.
Shout out to George Lopez.
Shout out to George Lopez. I'll be on microphone somehow. Oh my God.
Nah, yeah. I don't know how to feel about this iCarly reboot. It's strange. It's like it's weird.
I feel like rebooting any show with like not children but like teenagers when they're no longer teenagers.
Yeah, so that's my thinking is like, is it gonna be a show geared towards kids? Because that doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like it should be geared towards the people who watched that show.
Yeah, it would be adults. That's weird. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Even if they brought like Drake and Josh back or something, they're adults. And they're not going to change their appearance.
Yeah. I think I've even heard like
they would just make that character like it'd be like not an all grown up thing, but you make them older.
Yeah, and even then I've heard from like them before that apparently they want to work together on something again, but not specifically Drake and Josh, and that's fine. Like you have Drake and Josh wasn't a show about those characters. It was a show about those two people.
That actually sounds really good right now.
You know what I mean? I watched their comedy partners. Yeah. Like I could go into this.
They could put that on CBS. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
That funny enough, that show that this guy was in.
It could even be on like a platform. They could just like put it on like Hulu or like
people
Netflix.
Would watch it. They know they have the audience. Josh Peck makes those videos on YouTube where he sits with like those old co-stars. He's made one with Drake, with Miranda Cosgrove. He even did one with Yvette Nicole Brown, the one who plays Helen.
Yeah, I know.
And they get millions of views because people love those fuckers.
That was a loud million.
You know what I mean?
You sound like a game show host.
Because it's just it is a lot. I think
Yeah.
I don't remember what was the last one I saw because I had just been like perusing through, but they had like 15 mil, 30 mil. Like people watch that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of nostalgia with those shows. But I was gonna say, funny enough, this guy Josh was in a show on Fox. I think it was called Fathered.
Yeah, I watched
Grandfathered. It was like the one with John Stamos.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah. I watched like 4 episodes of that.
There's
it was
an
really
episode
weird. He had a
where-
baby. It was strange.
There's an episode where Drake cameos in it.
Yeah.
Like he plays like a cool guy. And he like drops off the car and they have like a small moment of dialogue, but it's super nostalgic because it's like adult Drake and Josh. You're like, oh my god, they're together on a camera.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
And there's that whole beef where like he didn't invite him to the wedding, but now they're friends again. I don't know. So much drama. But
Wait, who got married?
Josh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Josh got married. He didn't invite Drake to the wedding. I have a fire meme on my phone that's like not relevant at all, but it's weird. It's like, you know when you have to like find a picture on your phone, you have to go through shit tons of stuff.
Yeah.
But like some stuff catch your eye and you're like, I remember that meme, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's one where it's like fucking it's like there was a bunch of memes when that happened when Josh didn't invite Drake to the wedding.
Yeah.
But there's a picture of Josh like holding himself up over like stairs and a banister and it's like the floor is Drake or some shit like that, but he has like the happiest fucking face. It's so hilarious.
From the show.
No, it's like it's just a regular picture of him. That's the funny thing. This isn't a random hallway too. It's like not even lit or anything.
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
hysterical.
it's great. Is there
fantastic.
a show you'd want to get revived?
No, I don't think there are any. It would have to be, I don't know. I feel like everything I would like would be too old at this point, you know? Like, I don't know. I recently watched 2 seasons of Ned's Declassified just in the background. And
that's
I was
a show
like,
I forget about sometimes.
yeah. But it's like, it's not, I didn't like it that much because it's like I'm not in school. I think that might, like, it was also just,
interesting.
like I was watching it and I was like, this is like, it's like less relatable.
I got those vibes from iCarly too. Actually,
Yeah.
funny
There's
enough.
like the relatability has gone down.
Only because like what I noticed
I'm not
was
a child.
yeah, right. We have to preface we're not children.
Yeah.
The episode's gonna be called like We Critique Children's Sheet Television Shows. But fucking no, it was interesting because first off, iCarly has the reason I started watching it is if you haven't found out, iCarly recently started streaming on Netflix again, or for the first time rather. And apparently I like for me it was cool. I was like, oh shit, I could watch this show I haven't seen in years. Like cool, whatever. But then I found out that apparently like it was one of the top 10 trending things for like a week, and I was reading articles about how apparently it boosted some numbers just because of that. They put that show back on. So I was like, oh shit, it has like a community of people who like watch the show, I guess. But one thing I definitely noticed is since there's only like the first 2 seasons, I think the show had like 4 or 5. Those first 2 seasons are when they're like kids.
Yeah, they're very young, and you
like
see
15,
them get older.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're really unrelatable because the humor, especially, granted, that show is known for having like off the wall random humor as it goes on, but it's especially certain in those first couple seasons where it's just so loud and wacky that even I'm just like I can't. Like I had to skip some shit.
Like, I don't even think I liked that.
No, yeah.
I liked the plot of a lot of the shows and stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually really well written. But
that's the funny thing about those shows. They were the storylines, the fucking those are the best.
They always
things.
add up. A lot of times, sometimes they were based on like old shows, like they were based on like old sitcoms from like the 60s and stuff. Like there's 3 Drake and Josh episodes that are basically I Love Lucy episodes.
Yep. And there's even one where they like direct reference it.
Yeah.
It even like the heart ref thing goes right into it. Yeah.
And then on iCarly, even then you see some other reference stuff of like other stuff, some YouTube stuff that's like similar but not the same.
You know what's actually really cool about Drake and Josh? I was watching an interview. I think it was of Drake. Did like a radio interview. He was actually talking about how like when him and Josh Peck were like younger working on the shows, they used to have like sleepovers together, and they would watch old like Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy things. Like that's who they watched. That's who their like inspirations were.
Yeah.
So that's how they got like a lot of the inspiration to make their slapstick humor for the sketches and stuff like that.
I mean,
so it's kind of cool because they're like a modern day them. You know what I mean? You don't think about it a lot.
Very interesting.
But they're like, like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. They're just like they're our Abbott and Costello.
I kind of like that.
I love it.
I don't know why I like it.
It just makes me want more. You know, like make a movie, make a couple bad movies.
Do whatever. I love the fucking the hour movie or whatever it is. The Hollywood one.
Oh, Drake and Josh go Hollywood.
Yeah, I like
Hollywood girl.
Yeah.
That's jam of the week right there. The funniest thing is that song's in the jams too.
Is it? Oh my god.
Because you say that, I think I rewatched that movie like a year ago, and I was like, "Damn, this song goes hard." And I found it on Spotify. Fuck you. I was like, "Let's go."
I mean, I brought it up.
Drake has like that little emo fucking Hollywood girl.
Yeah.
It's lost again. Just breathe out a lot.
Oh yeah, just exhale only.
Only exhale.
Doesn't Tenacious D has that the inhale song?
Yeah.
And he only sings while inhaling.
Bro, I miss Tenacious D, man.
Holy shit! Yeah.
That's another movie I haven't seen in a long time.
Such a good movie. I've seen it. It used to be on Comedy Central all the time at nighttime. That's how I watched it.
I will never forget the first
it
time
with
I watched that
commercials.
movie.
Ugh.
My dad used to there's a video store back in the day, a very long time ago, when those existed. We had a video store by the house, and I had a friend who stood over the night, like a really old friend. Shout out to Kevin. And we stood up one night, and my dad was like, "You wanna watch a movie?" And we were like, "Cool." So we went to the video store, and we got Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny. I think we were like, how old are you in like 6th grade? Like 11?
11.
Like not old enough to watch that movie at all.
Yeah,
But we still watched it. And it was like the funniest
that movie came out a
thing.
while ago. The movie came out in 2006.
A long fucking time ago. And it's funny because if you watch it back, you can tell it's dated. It's
Isn't it weird that it doesn't feel like that long ago, but it is? You know what I mean?
But that's the funny thing.
2006 is almost is 15 years ago almost. So crazy.
I was gonna say the funny thing is like you go watch two movies that were filmed the same year, like 2005, but just based on the production quality, like one could look like it was made today, and the other one obviously looks like it was made 15 years ago.
Oh, there's some dated looking movies.
And not to say that it's a bad movie because it's fucking hilarious, but Tenacious D looks like an older movie. I get the same vibes from like the first Harold and Kumar. Like I don't know if you've ever gone back and watched that.
Oh, that movie is so iconic in my eyes.
No, like, it's a great, but it's super dated. You know what I mean? Like you go back and you watch it, and you're like, this reeks of 2000s.
I mean, even I don't know. I feel like a lot of those movies give me like American Pie vibes.
Yeah, that's another one.
Even
if
they're not American Pie.
Yeah,
they're like a different movie, and I'm
yeah.
like, this feels a certain way.
Like even I wouldn't say all the way, but like Accepted has shades of that kind of like aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Or The Ringer. You know what I mean? Those kinds of movies.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
I love how that's secretly a good movie, even though like you read the plot and you wouldn't think it's a good movie.
I think
like you read the plot and you're like, Johnny Knoxville pretends to be mentally disabled to win the Special Olympics, but it actually ends up being like a decently heartfelt good movie.
It's a good movie.
Like it sounds like it's really offensive, but it's actually like pretty.
They do it pretty well.
Yeah,
you know, it's like not too crazy.
It's pretty surprising. Yeah, I love that. But no, though I think I was just gonna
which, by the way, is based off a true story, which I think is the funniest thing.
That.
It's not as funny, of course, in real life, but there was definitely multiple people who pretended to be retarded to get into the Special Olympics. Yeah,
crazy.
Because that's not a physical disability, that's a mental disability.
Yeah.
But you still be brolic and even if you look now,
he's a track star. Like that's the movie.
Yeah, and like all of them, they're all really fast and
crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, I thought it was cool that, like, as a kid, even though I was, like, 10, 11 years old, my dad still showed me, like, a bunch of comedy classics. Like, I was super young when I watched Anchorman and all that shit.
When I was young, I watched, like, all of those movies.
My dad took me to see Dodgeball, like, in the movie theater.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like, you know how young I must have been?
I watched the uncensored on DVD, I remember. Like right after that, yeah.
When did Dodgeball come out?
06.
Was it 06 for sure? I'm going to guess 04, but you might be right.
It was anywhere from 04 to 06. I think it was 06.
04.
Oh,
crazy.
Damn.
So 04, bro, I was like 7, 8 years old, dude. I was 8. I was 8 years old. My dad took me to see Dodgeball.
You were 8 and you watched Dodgeball.
Fair. Granted, I think it's PG-13. I don't think it's actually rated R. If it is, that's even funnier. Yeah, it's PG-13.
Oh, there's no tits. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought
there's Ben Stiller's tits, but
Oh yeah. I love Ben Stiller's
But dude,
tits.
that was like iconic for me. I just remember cracking my ass up with my dad. Like that's one thing even if my wife doesn't know about it in the future, I'm secretly gonna sneak my kid to all those fucking funny movies and be like, look, this is what your grandpa showed me.
Oh my god, I mean there's movies that are just really good, and the best thing about that is that it's not that bad. People will say like, oh, you should never do it. If they don't get the reference, they don't get the reference.
Yeah,
it goes over your head.
I mean, as long as there's nothing blatantly inappropriate, like a dick on the
as
camera.
long as it's nothing traumatic.
Yeah,
as long as it's not, that's fine.
I'm not gonna show my kids Saw or something.
But it's like, how old were you when you watched Family Guy? You were very young, probably.
Honestly speaking, I think I was older than that.
Really? I mean, yeah.
Granted, Family Guy is an old show. People always sleep on that. Family Guy is like 22 years old. But
yeah, but you were older than 8 for sure. Obviously, just based on.
It was just because I didn't watch Family Guy when it was out. I watched it in reruns way
me
later,
too. But
still young.
I would say 09 probably.
10, 11 years old, still very young. Don't get me wrong. And we talked about it. Like I have it on a list. We want to do an episode dedicated to Family Guy.
We just do some. I don't know what would we do.
What?
Just all about it. Our favorite.
I have a ton of stuff I can talk about. Honestly speaking.
Shit, yeah.
So long story short, this isn't the episode. I'm not about to get into it. Maybe we tease it for next week. But I don't know what it was. It was just happened really randomly. It might have been like right around the time that I got sick from the COVID or whatever. But I noticed Family Guy was on Hulu. So I was just like, I didn't even start from the beginning. I just picked like an episode that I knew and I left it on. And I was like, oh, I forgot all this. And then I kept leaving and you just watch it. You know what I mean? Up to the point where like now I fall asleep to it. It's weird. But
I could do that.
I've watched so much Family Guy over the I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Over the past like month and change. Yeah. That I've learned so much about the show that I want to talk about it. Like I watch these episodes and I can almost kind of guess how the jokes come to be. I can even kind of tell how the writing works. If you watch some of the later episodes of Family Guy, I'm not talking about recent. I'm talking about like when we kind of stopped watching. Yeah. You can kind of like tell. It's weird. The actual thing that the episode is about doesn't actually happen until like 15 minutes into the episode, and then like the last 7 minutes are actually what the episode's about.
That's very interesting.
And then what the first 15 minutes of the episode is about is what I assume to be the writers of Family Guy writing the most ridiculous thing to set that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's all connected. Yeah.
It's crazy to me, but I love that. And then to make it even better, they always throw like they cut back to that original joke at the end, so it's not like it was for nothing. But, like, what I'm trying to say is I've learned so many intricate details about the show and, like, trivia stuff that I'm like, holy shit, there's, like, a lot here. And like I said earlier, people forget that show was 2 decades old. Yeah. Came out in 1999.
Oh, I remember I had my dad had the entire DVD set. Mm-hmm. So I remember just watching those.
That's what saved the show.
Yeah, and I remember just watching it, and I was like, hold up, this is really good. Because it got canceled, 3 seasons in, I believe?
First season?
Yeah, it was the first season, and then it got canceled again after the third season, and that's why there's like a 2 or 3 year gap. Yeah, even though obviously it's still super old, but it's not technically. It is 21 years old. It's not Simpsons old. Yeah, it's not. That show.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up on that episode. I have it. No joke. As corny as it sounds, I have like subtopics about this. I wanted to actually talk about if you think Family Guy will live up to be like a Simpsons-esque show in terms of its.
I would have to watch newer Family Guy episodes. I haven't watched any of the newer episodes. And I won't
spoil my full thoughts, but I kind of think it will.
Because it depends how good the new episode. If the new episodes are good, I think it's iconic enough in the time I watched it when I was young for it to be that level of good. And personally, it's a better show.
You know what we should do? No joke. Before we actually film the next episode, we should watch like at least 2 brand spanking new episodes of Family Guy, just so we could like look at it and be like, interesting. Where's the humor now? What are they talking about? What are the running jokes?
Because the thing is that show and South Park were also relevant.
I didn't want to say it. I was going to wait for the episode, but I was going to be like, that's the reason I think that Family Guy is going to be around for a lot longer than people might expect. Yeah. Because that show's literally just reeks of being socially relevant. Yeah. That's what fuels Family Guy.
And it also relied a lot about like past stuff too. Yeah. Which is interesting. Like, for example, the whole dynamic of making Adam West just
the mayor.
Yeah, and he's so fucking goofy in every episode.
I hate that we're talking about it because I want to have an episode. I was just gonna say, like, I love the fact that
we'll have 1.5 episodes. Yeah, right. Family Guy.
I love the fact that Seth MacFarlane calls back to like a lot of old shit from his childhood. So you just see like weird like Thundercats, like He-Man humor come out, and I guess it'd be the equivalent of us like doing SpongeBob jokes in like a show if we had like an animated comedy show. But I just love that like you see essences of the creators too. It's not just like a
Did you ever watch the Cavalcade?
We watched it.
Yeah, that is
because you had it on DVD.
I had that on DVD because I was just like, okay, well, this is him just trying anything. Yeah, and it's ridiculously stupid. Like that is like, I don't know, not that it's better, but I always feel like the extremes are always crazy. Yeah, like what's a crazy Seth MacFarlane joke? What was too far had to be on this DVD? You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot.
There's a couple.
I mean, this,
as an adult, I go back and I'm like, that was brave.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But like, considering what South Park did, where it was just like, oh, they literally caused many things to happen.
I think what's kind of funny though about Family Guy is even though, like, you can tell Seth MacFarlane is not afraid to push a joke. Like, he'll just push it out there. He's not afraid of that. But I think it's also kind of funny that he'll like even reference it directly in the show. There's like moments where Peter will do something like super obscene, and then he'll be like, "It's a show, calm down," like talking to the audience. Like it's like, yeah, it's like don't be fucking super sensitive about it. But it's kind of funny, like he kind of throws those in too. So yeah. What?
This complete. Yeah. No, that's a really good point.
Yeah. I have so much more, but
yeah, we have to save it
because it's coming to a specific time of that episode.
Yeah.
Of the I don't know.
Episode?
It's the end of the show.
Yeah, it's about a couple minutes left.
We're gonna talk about some music. Oh, there's actually something I didn't get to talk about this episode. Too bad. I was gonna talk about Concrete Genie. Concrete Genie, pretty cool game. If you have PlayStation, go get it before it runs out. It's the February free game. I don't have time to fully review it. Maybe I'll do it at the beginning of next episode.
I gotta download that when my PS5 comes.
Lit. We all have PS5s now. Pretty fire.
Pretty cool. We have to find a game. What's the game? What is the game?
Yeah,
we have to figure that out.
There's that new game. Not to go on a tangent about this, but the other February game is Destruction All Stars. It's like a battle royale with cars. It's weird. It's like you drop on a map, you pick up a car instead of a weapon, and then you have to like drive around and hit KO cars.
I didn't buy it, but I remember I was reading a trophy guide about it.
It's free, but I haven't played it. It just
I'll
doesn't
download
look like
it.
my kind of.
I have to go on the app and claim it like I did with Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks. Oh, is that how you did it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did that, and then I think I missed January.
So you technically have Bug Snacks.
I do. Yeah, I have 2 PS5 games already.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Damn, you thought ahead.
Yeah, November.
Yeah, Concrete Genie. You won't.
Yeah.
You won't.
Oh, of course I will.
You won't.
That'll be the game I'm gonna play.
You can platinum it in like a day too if you want to.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Ooh, I have. How many platinums are you up to?
I checked the other day. It's a lot.
How much is it?
It's a lot.
Okay, because I have about 20 games that I was planning on doing, and then my PS4 bricked.
Damn, you got some catching up.
I have some stuff to catch. There's some games that I bought that they were on sale for like $2, and I just never played.
Oh,
I have a ton of games like that. I bought The Witcher for $3, but that game is 150 hours of content.
Shit.
I'm not gonna play that ever. That's way too much of a commitment. I'm not into like that lore stuff.
Style, yeah.
So it's just like, oh.
This number actually upsets me.
Yeah.
I have 59 platinum trophies.
Interesting.
When I could have 60.
Yeah.
I could have 60. I know what
Bob,
the next one is.
I mean, Bob, I have games.
I know.
That you could platinum in 20 minutes.
I know. I don't want to give. I don't like that though.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But hey, if I could do,
I don't want to like. It ruins the fun for me. Part of the fun of platinuming the game is like going through the journey and getting everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot better. There's some platinums.
I don't like the platinums that are just like beat the game, watch the.
There are some where I literally have like it's 0.1. That's great to have because it's like no one went through the effort to do this.
Yeah.
But you went through the effort to do it. And I have a bunch of those, but then I also have one game.
Just Overwatch.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's a good one. That's
rough.
A classic. There's one game where I opened the game at 11:30 and I have the platinum at 11:36.
Wow.
And it was a game where you only had to beat 5 levels, and then if you held down a button, it skipped all the levels as complete.
Wow. Crazy. That's ridiculous.
And it was never patched because it's an indie game made by like a Russian dude.
Interesting. So yeah, send me that if you don't mind.
Yeah, or
just number 60 real quick.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that after a while, I think Sony put a stop to it. Mm-hmm. But just because they're like a legit publisher, they can just publish like 40 games and they all have a platinum.
Weird.
$3.99.
All right, you ready for the jam and the aim of the week?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go first.
Look, I got to be honest about my jam of the week. It's not a real song. It is a real song.
This is the second week where this is not a real song. I mean, there's another week where you also...
Yeah, and it's by the same, kind of guy. So if you remember, I think back in November, which would have made sense, I probably had my jam of the week be No Nut November by the legend himself, Matt Watson, and some other great guys.
I'm so happy it went back on Spotify, though.
Matt Watson is one half of the comedy super duo that is SuperMega on YouTube. We love those guys.
Oh, yeah, I watched
and
them all the time.
They just put out a fucking fire song. It's called Brand New Shirt. Has
a music video.
It's a song. It's not a serious song, but I don't know why. It's been on repeat for days, bro.
It's really good.
It's a highly addictive song.
In my head, it's almost like Weird Al-esque.
Yeah, but
it's a parody. It's not legit, but it's
still a good song.
It's a solid beat, and it's a solid song, yeah.
So as silly as it sounds, my jam of the week is Brand New Shirt by SuperMega.
Brand New Shirt.
And what would Yam of the Week be?
Yam of the Week. So I was going back and I was listening to a bunch of music that I'd never had on Spotify. You know how like there's maybe there's a song
old
that you listen
YouTube
to.
playlists.
Yeah, just weird stuff where it's like, oh, this song got lost. And there was a time where I listened to like indie pop.
Interesting.
And just like electronic stuff. There's a really cool band called Wild Nothing. But this song I'm going to pick is Psychic Chasms by Neon Indian.
Ooh, Neon Indian.
And really trippy song. That whole album is just like
it's a trippy title.
Oh, they have songs that are way trippier. There's one that's just like It Drips, it's called. It's like, what the hell is that about? There's one song that's called You Should Have Done Acid With Me. Like, it's just like, huh?
But that couldn't be more direct.
Yeah. But yeah, that song is trippy as hell.
Fire. Can't wait to check it out when I edit this show, because that's whenever I actually listen to your Yams of the Week. It was funny because on last week's episode, it was Totaled by Restless Modern, right? Yeah. And in the episode, you're like, it's cool. It has like a little tick, 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 tick. Like you say that with your mouth, and then I play it, and it does it, and I'm like, oh, cool. It's exactly that. Yeah. Sick song, too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us on this week's episode of The Joystick Show. If you liked it, obviously, like it. Yeah. It'll help us, and it'll make you look cool. And that's what life is all about. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with all of the Joystick Show episodes. There's one every Wednesday and some other content. Real quick, I'm going to say this now, so I'm in stone. The Chef's Son will be returning shortly. My father is going on vacation to Florida. When he gets back, we're getting on it. I promise. We might even get on it before it, but I'm just saying when he gets back, that's when we're going to be back on the horse. But
I mean, I told you to say that last week, and I don't think you did.
I forgot, honestly. Yeah. It would have made sense when we were talking about hiatus stuff and shit like that, but it just popped in right now. I meant to start it. Maybe I'll put it in like I'll do that thing where they put the end of the podcast at the beginning, so you're like, man, I have to watch it now.
Oh, or we just put
apparently people do that.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of the podcasts I watch put the funniest moment in the beginning.
Do we have to start doing that?
Yeah. Shit. Or if there's like a funny like slow mo thing they do or anything like that. Yeah.
Alrighty. So thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you have a wonderful. What is this on a Wednesday? Rest of the week.
Yeah.
Wonderful Wednesday. And do you have anything left to say?
No.